Now Swami Aseshananda will tell some of his reminiscences or old days.
I exhausted everything last night. But when you have asked me, I have to answer it.
Ramananda Swami or these are whatever.
You see, it's difficult. When I come here, old memories come to my mind, especially the image of Swami Prabhupada. He has kept a beautiful atmosphere, and I am very pleased to see that you have kept that fire burning. I lived with him for 5 years. He used to chant, addressing to his Guru Maharaj, that is Swami Brahmanandi Maharaj. Kalindi Fullakamale Madhavena Kridarata Brahmananda Namastubham Sadguru Lokanayaka. This verse was composed by Swami Aseshananda on a special occasion. That occasion was, as last evening I mentioned, that when Swami Aseshananda passed away, I thought within myself, it is not enough to feel sad if a beloved teacher who gave me sannyas leaves this mortal world. Tears can be shed, but tears must not make a person weak. If we keep the memory alive through our life, through our attitude, through our sadhana, I believe the gurus, human gurus as well as the divine guru will be pleased. That is the reason why we need a teacher to tell us what to do, how to cultivate the proper attitude, and how to practice sadhana. The word sadhana, I mean by the word to discipline ourselves in such a way that we will be the proper instruments for the expressions of the truth that was reflected in the life of the great teacher. So Kali, what I have to say, that it is Thakur, Sri Ramakrishna, saw Swami Brahmananda as a friend of Krishna, and Swami Aseshananda recorded it in his Leela Prasanga, the Sri Ramakrishna, the great master. And Swami Aseshananda used to read to Baburam Maharaj, Swami Premananda. Baburam Maharaj, Swami Premananda said to Swami Aseshananda, it is true that Sri Rakhal, or Maharaj, was the eternal companion of Sri Krishna. But he also mentioned that Rakhal must not know it. What you have done, you are publicizing it. If you make it public, Maharaj will read, and he will remember his Swarupa, his true nature, and leave the stage of this world. Swami Aseshananda immediately sent one of the Swamis to the press, called Gauranga Press. And not only that portion was taken away, but even the types were burnt so that the world would not be able to know what Swami Aseshananda wrote. And Baburam Maharaj objected to publicize the real nature or Swarupa of Maharaj. And so we find in the year 19, after giving Brahmacharya, Maharaj fell sick in Balram Boshe's house. First it was cholera. Then afterwards, the cholera left one to homeopathic medicine. Then he had old trouble called diabetes. And even when he was suffering, Maharaj was so kind, so patient. I saw from a distance at Balaram Bhusha's house. And he had terrible thirst. One time, Shudji Maharaj, Swami Nidvananda said, Maharaj, will you take lemonade? He was fond of lemonade. Will you take lemonade? Maharaj said, pour Brahman into Brahman. And when he was taken from his small room into the big hall in Balaram Bhusha's house, humorously he said, Mora hati lakh taka. Even an elephant, if it dies, is worth $1 million. Because he was quite strong. So anyway, the point that I want to say, Maharaj one day had a kind of vision. Kamale Krishna, Kamale Krishna. Kamale Krishna means Kamal means lotus. That I am holding the hand of my beloved friend Krishna and dancing in joy. Kamale Krishna. Yoginma said to Swami Aseshananda, Maharaj has realized his Sharupa, his true nature, you will not be able to keep him. So, but Maharaj called all his disciples, not only his disciples, disciples of say, Holy Mother, and especially Swami Aseshananda, called Sharad Maharaj. So he came. Sharad, in spite of you, I am to go. His disciples asked that thing after Maharaj's Mahasamadhi, but I have not understood that he has so much love that I will be able to save him. But he had the vision of Krishna. My Krishna is not the Krishna of sadness. My Krishna is the cause of joy, of Ananda. Don't you see, as Krishna has come and massaging my body, and all my agony, all my pain has left. Then you see, it reminds me of the scene of Buddha. Buddha also, before his passing away, he called all his disciples. If any of you has any question, please tell. Tathagata is going to depart from this world. And then Ananda was weeping. Weep not, Ananda. Be a lamp unto yourself. Work out your salvation with diligence. Buddha is not a person. Buddha is a state of consciousness. Be a Buddha. So anyway, Maharaj, in a different context, he called and then he blessed. Especially Swami Nidvananda, who is still alive, Shudji, his name is Shudja. You have served me very loyally and faithfully. I bless you. Gold and silver have none. Brahmagya, may you attain Brahmagya, knowledge of Brahma. His name was given Nirvanananda. So I have heard from another, then Maharaj, I would say this Mahapurush Maharaj was present, Swami Aseshananda, and he said to the Kabiraj who came, Kabiraj, he said, Oshad Mitha, that means medicine is unreal, but the Bhashma, called the ash, holy ash that you use, that is real. Shiva is real, Oshad is unreal. And then he said, all my children, I will be with you always. So you find Maharaj's passing away created a great void in the minds of the disciples of Sri Ramakrishna. And Mahapurush Maharaj was made the president. But here I have to tell you a story. Now this is called election days. So these are the election days. Shuddhananda, Swami Shuddhananda, who was always for organizational rules. So after his passing away, he sent letters to different centers that you the senior Swamis can vote for the next president. Swami Aseshananda did not like it, but Swami Shuddhananda was very aggressive. So letters were sent. Swami Turiyananda said, after Swamiji, no one has done so much for the mission as Swami Aseshananda. So I will vote for Swami Aseshananda. So at the trustees meeting, votes went to Swami Aseshananda. Mahapurush, like Shiva, he was absolutely unconcerned. If everybody wants Sharad, let Sharad be the president. Swami Aseshananda be the president. But Swami Aseshananda said, Swami Vivekananda has made me the general secretary. I will stick to it. I propose, may Swami Shivanandaji Maharaj be the senior most member of the trustees and the direct disciple of the master be elected to be the president. Then Swami Shivananda Maharaj said, I do not know all these administration things, all that, but servant is always ready. Servant is always ready to help you. So here when these two Swamis, these two Swami Aseshananda and Swami Shivananda, carried on the work which Swami Brahmananda left. Although you can say Swami Brahmananda was chosen by Sri Ramakrishna to be his favorite. It is like Saint John, the most beloved. Swami Vivekananda was brought for the world, but Swami Brahmananda was brought for himself. So here I have to say what I have learned from sitting at that feet. First, reverence to the Guru, Guru Shakti. And the Guru Shakti passes through the mantra, and the mantra Shakti. And when we talk about Guru and the mantra, is usually called Ishta mantra, the place of the Ishtam is the heart center, and the place of the Guru is the head center. What does it mean? It means that the individual soul, when it attains perfection, it becomes one with the Ishtam. It is the symbol of the individual soul, free from all the imperfections of the world. And Guru is the symbol of the universal soul. And universal soul is always seated on the head. And the purpose of sadhana, especially japa, that means repeating the name. There the Guru never dies. I mentioned it last night. When we repeat the mantra, the Ishta mantra, Guru is alive. As it were, you contact the Guru. And so, for the devotee, when the body is reduced into dust and ashes, what remains? It remains the spirit of the Guru. And the spirit of the Guru, in order to realize, one has to practice japa. Japat siddhi, japat siddhi, japat siddhi. Therefore, Holy Mother used to bless his disciples by doing some japa on the head. And then Holy Mother also used to give mantra, Ishta mantra, and say, what I am to do I have done at the time of initiation. But if at the last moment, you will be able to realize God. But if you want immediately, then you have to practice. You have to practice like that. Yes. So whatever it may be, I have to speak about this, about Sharala, Bharati Purana. One day, Sharala Devi, who later became the head of the Sharada Math, or Sharada convent in India, asked Swami Aseshananda. Swami Aseshananda used to look upon Sharala Devi as mother's, not only mother's daughter, as his own daughter. She made a fund, as it were, so that she could live a life of tapas, a life of meditation and prayer and realization of God. To Sharala, one time Sharala wrote a letter that I miss Holy Mother very much. You, Swami, please shower your blessings. And so I was to write letters for Swami Aseshananda. What do we say? In Bengali we say, means I have emptied my purse to you. I have given everything. I have not left anything. Julie says or Julie says or something. That means I emptied my parts, I have not left. But if you want to realize, you have served the Holy Mother, very loyally, very faithfully. But if you want to know the truth, then try to meditate what Holy Mother actually was. So, therefore, mantra, as you when you repeat the mantra, as I have said, is the mantra, and do japa, we contact the Guru, even if he is not present before our physical eyes. And through japa, we come to a time when we long for the vision. We long for the vision, that I am not satisfied with mere japa. Japa leads to called dhyana, meditation. Meditation, you feel the presence. You feel sometimes like comes called jhati darshan, comes and goes, glimpses. And so these glimpses are milestones to progress. And so a devotee should not feel sad if the physical body is no more with the disciple. There is the relationship between the Guru and the disciple, which is called eternal relationship. And therefore it is a relationship of the soul, it is a relationship of the spirit, it is a relationship of the real nature of the individual soul and the universal soul. And so, but again, another point of view, I will have to say, the Ishtam is the Shakti. The Shakti is the Ishtam, therefore it is called the power aspect. And the power aspect, when we think of power aspect, it is the power of the Divine Mother. As you find, the Ishtam of Sri Ramakrishna was Mother Kali, and the Ishtam of Holy Mother was Jagadhari. So these are different expressions of the same Divine Mother. So Divine Mother, according to Shankaracharya, is called Agatana Ghatana Patiyashi Mahamaya, the great mother who can make the impossible possible. So that is the reason why, you see, when I was coming to this country, it was a boat, called Dutch liner. My cabin, in front of the cabin was a saloon. No. So anyway, but I was not attracted. but I tell you, somebody said to me, you have missed something. I said, I missed many things. So anyway, I tell you, last evening somebody asked this question, that do you feel the Holy Mother is real to you? You have narrated the incidents. There is a saying that man's adversity is God's opportunity. When difficulties come, problems come, troubles come, when you do not know whether you are going to live or die, when you follow the instruction of the teacher and you have faith in the mantra, if something comes and difficulties move away, difficulties are straightened, problems disappear like mist before the rising sun. Will you not have faith? So you see this, when my boat left Colombo. From Colombo, everything was, then it came to Egypt. Then there was quarantine, so we could not go, there was cholera epidemic. And all officers, military officers came checked each one of us, captain and all these people. But they did not, I had my Oka club, so they did not ask many questions. And afterwards this Suez Canal was stopped and all these things. But anyway, what I am to say, when I saw the Rock of Gibraltar and then we were coming to America, it was in the mid-Atlantic, there was a great storm. We heard that one boat was capsized. And that day, the captain did not come to the dining hall. He was very alarmed. And before we left, it was all our instruction was given. When the siren calls, you have to go there and there will be lifeboat. I was imagining in my mind, probably at 12 o'clock, the siren is coming. and you have to take that boat like that. And then I can swim in the lake or the river, but I don't know how to swim in the ocean. So all this imagination for a long time. And then I said, Mother, if you are real, then I must reach my destination. Swami Nityananda will be sad. 1947. It was 1947. So for a long time I could not sleep. And my suitcase was in my cabinet, moved from one side of the cabinet to the other side of the cabinet. Yes. But you see, somebody asked me this question, this Paramananda gave our name as Abhaya. Abhaya or Abhaya Pada Paramanasha. Bhavabhaya Shabaduri Jabe Tama.
We're not singing one.
No, not singing. I'm translating.
Last night we were discussing because you were telling that Muthu is a singer.
Yeah.
Anyhow, without our asking, he gave a
But I
demonstration.
am not.
But he also can sing.
I can sing. I can sing with others, but I can't sing. Now you must not make yourself that is efficient. Yeah, see, that is Swamiji's idea. Wherever you go, try to make a mark. Make a mark and sing. Abhaya means, O my mind, take refuge at the blessed feet of the Mother, who is the giver of fearlessness. And the fear of death you will be able to conquer through an infinite grace. It is a kind of little translation, but Abhaya Pada Paramanasha. So anyway, the next morning I found the sunshine was there and the turbulent waves of the previous day had come down. Similarly, in our own life, there will be some turbulent waves, but all these turbulence waves will come down if we get the blessings of Thakur, Sri Ramakrishna, whose name, according to Swami Aseshananda, when I was writing later, called Mahamantra, the great mantra, the most powerful mantra of the age. And if we repeat with faith and devotion, with love and respect, with sincere longing of the heart, our prayers will be answered, our meditation will be fruitful, our coming to this world will be meaningful. And so this, here, Talindi full of Kamale, that Kamale Krishna, you see, it is Swami Aseshananda composed in connection with the ritualistic ceremony called Purnabhisheka. I had the opportunity to attend it. And another Swami was there. He noted down. I did not note it. He noted down. So here, what shall I say? The Abhaya, you see, fearlessness, the mother means. I give you also a little human side. Because if you think of God as Vaishajya means as power, you will be afraid. You will always keep distant. We should think of God as Madhurya, as full of sweetness. As the Swami was telling, Mahapurush Maharaj had called Rudra appearance. We do not want Mahapurush Maharaj's Rudra appearance. Rudra Jakti Dakshinam Mukham Dinamam. We want Mahapurush Maharaj as the Shiva aspect. Although we do not know. You see, the great poems, a poet tells about, well, Shiva, I do not know who you are, what your nature is, what your attitude is, what you can do for your devotees. But this much I know, that my heart's love will be to you always and always. Tavattam na janami tidrishopi mahadeva jadrishopi maheshwara tadrishaya namo namo. So anyway, I have to talk about Holy Mother's human aspect. Because I had to go to a dentist before I came here. And dentist did something always give pain to me. It did not help me, no doubt. But probably you say that I am a perfectionist. You come again, I will do something. Not Vedanta, but Vedanta. Vedana means pain. End of pain can come through death. End of pain can come through illumination. But the dentist cannot do that. So what happened? One time Holy Mother had some toothache. Swami Aseshananda heard this fact from Joginma. These two are companions, Joginma and Golapma, Holy Mother's companion. Ramakrishna used to say Jaya and Vijaya. Joginma represented called the merry idea, they loved meditation. And Golapma represented called the mirth idea. He was karma yogi. He was always doing something like that. I was present at the time of death, Samadhi of both these things, so I had the privilege to serve both of them. So now, Joginma reported to Swami Aseshananda. So Swami Aseshananda, called the doctor, he was a devotee of the monk. He would not charge anything, or would ask the patient to go to his laboratory or any place for checking or this and that. So, Swami Aseshananda said, the dentist has come and want to show his respect to the mother, and also he will remove all pain. Golapma went, and such, the mother would be always in the shrine or in the next room, but mother was not to be found. Golapma searched all the rooms, everywhere, upstairs. When the mother has gone to upstairs to see the Ganges, no upstairs to the roof, not in the Golapma's room or the next room. Swami Aseshananda waited for half an hour. Then the mother probably might have gone to Balram Bush's house without telling anybody. So I went with the devotee doctor, although gave him some prasad and took him to his home and came back. Golapma and an eagle eye went several times. Then when mother knew the dentist has gone, she was found by Golapma. She was hiding herself under her own bed, covering with a sheet of cloth, which is something to be done up there. I request you not to imitate. If you imitate her life, her noble character, which constitutes of two important things, wisdom and compassion. And the wisdom is called Sarada Saraswati, Gandhi Devashasi. I have heard this story from Golapma. Golapma, one time, Golapma was very frank and outspoken. He would call a spade a spade. He didn't know how to use polished language to make a person feel good. Sometimes remarks would be a little difficult to bear. But she was very kind, very compassionate. She looked all of us as her own children. So Golapma said to maybe Joginma or somebody, I am not sure, that Sri Ramakrishna left Dakshineshwar and came to Shampapur because Sri Ramakrishna was not pleased with her service. She was feeding Sri Ramakrishna with rich food, and that his stomach was not agreeable to it, and his disease was aggravated. So Holy Mother heard that. Immediately she hired a carriage, hackney carriage, and came to Shampapur and said to Sri Ramakrishna, is it true that you are displeased with my service, and that is why you have come to Shampapur? Sri Ramakrishna said, who said that? It is not true. I could not ever dream of it. I tell you that I was absolutely satisfied. And let that Brahmin, who said that? He said, Bola. Let that Brahmin widow come tomorrow or any day, I will teach her a lesson. And so Golapma came the next day, and Thakur said, did you say that? He said, I heard from somebody, therefore I reported to Joginma or somebody else, I do not exactly remember. Do you know who she is? Sarada Saraswati. Gandhi. Sarada is the Divine Mother who has come to give illumination, to give enlightenment, to give realization of God. Go and beg pardon of her. If she does not pardon you, you will not be able to come here again. Golapma reported to me, but I had the privilege to serve her. She had heart trouble. I had to give some medicine, and sometimes give some fanning and all that. So Golapma said, I cried all the distance from Calcutta, from Shampapur to Dakshineshwar, where Holy Mother is giving the concert, and fell prostrate before her. I did not have to say anything. Mother took me into her hand, embraced me, and patted on my back. Gulab, Gulab, Gulab. Mother cannot take any offense. Mother cannot see any fault of her child. And so you find that Sarada Saraswati, as I mentioned before, that this is the age where God will be worshipped as mother. And there is divine worship of Mother Kali. Mother Kali, I had mentioned yesterday that man is born and lives and dies. This is called Moharatri, the night of delusion. And if night of delusion is the fate of man, Kalaratri, then death becomes a terror. It is only through the grace of Agya, the fearless one, the mother who is the giver of fearlessness, that death can be conquered. And illumination will be an inevitable fact in the life of the sadhaka or sadhika, spiritual aspirant, or either man or woman. So we find it, that's called Moharatri. Moharatri will be conquered when there is the Moharatri, the great night of enlightenment, the great night of illumination, the great night of realization of God as Father, as Mother, as Beloved, as all in life. And that is the significance of worshipping Kali. Beyond death, beyond fall. And Kali is night, it is a renunciation. Renounce all desires, renounce all attachment for all mundane things. As you find Solomon said, this vanity of vanities, all this is vanity. Solomon lived not as a pain-hugging ascetic. He enjoyed the world to the fullest extent. But he had the power of discrimination. And therefore, he said in his mature days, the vanity of vanities, all this is vanity. And therefore, if I am to say that Shankara's Maya is perfectly all right, but Sri Ramakrishna has given that Maya can be conquered by the grace of Mahamaya. And the Agatana Bhagavati Maya. And that is the reason why I am very pleased to be with you. I have seen her face, the great mother. I did not know her. I only knew her human aspect. The divine aspect was revealed to me only through the great commentator, as Brahma Sutra was revealed to me only through Shankara's commentary. Similarly, it is Swami Aseshananda who taught me to worship Mother, not as a saintly woman, but as the Divine Mother herself, who can give illumination by a touch, by a sight, by a wish, by a thought, or by repeating the name of God. So anyway, this idea that comes to my mind, that I have seen her face, I have touched her feet, I have heard her words. May I have the longing and the vision to see her real age. And that reminds me of Annapurna Stotra. Today, in our dining hall, in the monastery's dining hall, there was a picture of Mother. I said, Mother is Annapurna. And when I was Vinada, I used to always go to Vishwanath and Annapurna. There is a beautiful hymn by Shankaracharya. The Shankaracharya, although he is an Advaiti, but he was a great bhakta of the Mother. And especially this Mokshuddhara Kapato Patanigari, Kashi Purashari, Vikshang Dehi Kripavalumbanagari, Mata Annapurneshwari. Mokshuddhara, you hold the key to liberation. Mokshuddhara Kapato Pat, Kashi Puradeshwari, the presiding king of Kashi. Vikshang Dehi, I beg of you. I seek your grace. Please accept me. And also give the knowledge. Open my third eye, and so that I can see that you are the Divine Mother who can, through her grace, make man immortal, man immortal. Because our goal is Jivan Mukti. Jivan Mukti Sukha. I will not compromise. I will not think of post-mortem emancipation. Jivan Mukti Sukha. There I agree with Shankara. And Swami Aseshananda jumped at that idea. We have come here to realize the freedom of the spirit. And through the grace of the Mother, impossible things will be possible. And I wish and pray to Sri Ramakrishna, who is the method, and Holy Mother, who is the symbol of grace, enlighten our heart and lead us kindly from darkness to light, from death to immortality. Thank you.
Friends, it is a delightful hour. I thank, of course, Swami Aseshananda will speak here again on Sunday. Sunday lecture at 11 o'clock will speak. Tomorrow he goes to Santa Barbara and speaks there in the evening at 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock, and day after tomorrow afternoon he comes back. For Sunday again there will be lecture. And I am thankful to Swami Vedanta. In spite of his, he is also advanced in age, so slightly junior to Swami Aseshananda, but that he could still find the energy to come here. Again, tomorrow he goes back, but tonight itself he goes back from here, spends the night near the airport. I am very thankful to him that he could manage to come and also speak to all of us this evening. He has got a fund of stories that day we went to the airport, and for several hours he kept all the people enthralled there, talking all the stories in spite of all this. So I knew that everything he cannot finish today, but I am glad that some of the background stories he gave today. So we shall meet you there, meet the Swamis there and have their blessings. All right, Maharaj will end up with a chant.
Jam Brahma Varunendra Rudra Marudaha Stunnanti Dibbhai Stavai Vedai Sangapada Kramaupnishadai Gayanti Yang Samagaha Dhyanavastita Tadgatena Manasha Pashanti Yang Yogina Yashantam Navidu Surasuragana Devaya Tasmai Namaha. Our salutations to him who is the truth of life and existence, and whom the sages call by various names. Our salutations to him whose glory is sung in sacred hymns of the various scriptures of the world, but whose limitless and infinite grandeur no mortal mind can comprehend. Our salutations to him whom the devotees meditate in the shrine of their hearts and realize his ineffable presence in their deepest contemplation. May he illumine our understanding and prompt our minds to the path of truth and righteousness. May he reveal himself unto our souls and dispel the gloom of illusion, fear,